Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Katie. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you'll like and subscribe and join my little fam. As you can see today, I am going to be doing my eyeshadow palette declutter. Quick disclaimer, I am a little sick today, a little sick bear. Me being super blessed with my awesome sinuses, I am just a little congested. So if I sound a little different and a little more manly in my videos today, or in my video today, that is why. But I hope you'll stay tuned. This is 15 years worth of makeup and palettes, so it's my first time decluttering. So let's just jump right in. Before I start, I will say you guys are only going to see my hands today, like I said, because I'm sick. I look like a trash panda, and you guys do not want to see that. I know I don't want you to see that. So before I get started, I also just want to say there's going to be 3 categories. One is going to be keep, one is going to be maybe, and one is going to be declutter, whether it's giving away to friends and family, donating if it's new, or, you know, it might just be old. So, all right, let's get right into it. First thing I want to talk about is the Huda Beauty New Nude Palette. I forgot I had this and recently rediscovered it. So, it is absolutely stunning. I just used it the other day. Absolutely love it. So, definitely keeping that. This is my only Kylie Jenner palette that I have. I bought it, I think it was her Valentine's Day collection, maybe a year or 2 ago. And the colors are just fine. I think I've only used it once, to be honest. I might put it in the maybe pile just because I bought it to get to know her formula and I don't feel like I do know it. So I think I'm going to put it in the maybe. Alright, I got this one in a BoxyCharm. It's the Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palette. It is very neon and metallic, as I'm sure you can see. I actually don't really have any shades like this in my collection, so I'm going to keep it in case I want to do a fun neon look over the summer. Okay, you guys are going to see my age with this. Because like I said, this I'm pretty sure is 15 years old. It is the Hard Candy Natural Eyes Neutral Eyeshadow Palette. It is broken. It is a dupe for the Too Faced Natural at Night palette, which I also have in the old packaging. You can see colors are very, very similar. I mean, this one is just old, and this one too is old. And I just don't reach for them, so I'm gonna get rid of these. I forgot I had this, you guys, and I'm so mad I forgot. I remember buying this at a Nordstrom rack. Look how freaking cute. Eat your heart out. I'm so mad I forgot about this because the colors really are gorgeous and they performed beautifully. So I'm going to keep this to just get some more use out of it. I don't own anything else from the balm. So yeah, keep. It's adorable. All right, let's talk about my pure palettes. I have 4. I believe they're actually all from BoxyCharm or subscription boxes. So the first one is the Soiree Diaries. It's just a very basic neutral colored palette. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I think I may have swatched it. But I have so many neutral palettes, I don't need it. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Next up, I have the Pure Festival palette. I don't know if I've used this. Actually, I might have used it once. It looks like I've used this, and this shade for a very basic neutral color. Honestly, I don't need it. I know there's some fun pops of color, but I don't use it. And honestly, if you take those two shades away, it's very neutral. So again, we're going to declutter. This one, again, BoxyCharm. It says BoxyCharm on the front. Again, I don't even know if I used this. I honestly, it doesn't even really look like I've swatched it. So this is a great opportunity for me to donate. And again, if you take these colors out, it's very neutral. I don't need another neutral palette. So we're going to get rid of. Last one, again, BoxyCharm. It's the Pure Midnight Masquerade Face Palette. So this is still in the cardboard box. The tape is still on it. It's a face palette where it actually has 4 colors and then 6 eye colors. Because I have never opened this, again, it's a great opportunity to donate it. So I'm not even going to open it. We're just going to pass it on. All right, you guys, I will be the first to admit I bought this for the packaging. It is the Ciate Lunde Glitter Storm. This is why I bought it, because the glitter just falls down. Is anyone else a 90s child where you had like these toys that did this, like these just little trinkets, and you would go on car rides and you would literally just like play with them the entire time? That was me, and that is the reason I bought this. However, great surprise for me is these colors are beautiful. So it comes with a couple of mattes, a couple of satins, and then there's some pressed like glitter top coats. I get compliments every time I wear this. So I bought it for the packaging, and I'm going to keep it for the shadows. Next up, I have a couple of just small palettes. This one is from Sephora. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't use it. I think it might have been like $3 or $5 as an add-on to an order. This one is from Ulta. I think it came with this year's Black Friday gift. I used it once just to see how they would perform. They perform quite well. But, you know, again, all neutrals, I just don't reach for them and I don't need them. So I'm going to pass on both of these. Okay, this one is Winky Luxe. It's the kitten palette that was in a BoxyCharm. Absolutely love the packaging because I have a cat and I love her to death. Inside, the colors are, can I get it open? There we go. The colors are just fine. I know a lot of people like Winky Luxe, so I think I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile just to try to test out the formula a little bit more. I just don't feel like, I mean, I don't remember the last time I used it to actually tell you if the formula is good or bad. So I think it's gonna go in the maybe pile just for that reason. Okay, let's talk about ColourPop. So, talking about this one first. Anyone that knows me knows I was so excited when this palette came out. It's the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon palette. And I'm gonna be honest, I think the colors are really fun. All of the looks I've made with this palette, I've really enjoyed. And I mean, honestly, I'm gonna keep it just for the fact that it's Sailor Moon. I'm embarrassing, but growing up in the 90s, I would put Sailor Moon on after school every day. And I was that little geek that went outside when I was playing and I would pretend to transform into Sailor Moon and thought I was like the coolest thing ever. So I'm keeping it just for that reason alone. The next one I have is the Element of Surprise ColourPop palette. Honestly, I think I am going to keep this one. The shades are really pretty. The formula of Shadow Pop is really great as well. And the looks that I've created with this, I've really enjoyed. So I'm going to keep. Next ColourPop is the Golden State of Mind palette. So this palette, I want to say it was a holiday palette a few years ago. And I bought it because at the time I was really into shadow toppers, which that's pretty much all this is. But while it is nice, I am now in that state of mind where I only want one palette if I'm gonna do my eyes. Like, I want a palette that just has everything for me. And with this, you can't do that. Like, everything is shimmery, it's glittery. And while it's kind of fun to have in my collection, I just don't use it, and I don't like using more than one palette when I get ready. So I am going to pass this on. All right, I have a couple of Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. The first one is the Sultry palette. Honestly, bought this one for the packaging as well because glitter, duh. But if you open it up, it actually is just stunning. The shimmers in this are just absolutely beautiful. They are so creamy that anytime I want a glitter look or just a really shimmery, kind of neutral look, this is what I pull out. I'm kind of bummed out they don't offer it anymore because I think it's a great palette for anyone to have in their collection. Next one, I have Modern Renaissance, which clearly this has been loved. It's getting kind of gross and disgusting, and I'm sure you can tell from the inside. It has been very well loved. I have hit pan on 4 shadows, almost on 5. That one has a pretty good divot in it too. This is an amazing everyday palette. I could not recommend it enough. If you just want a really easy go-to palette, pick this one up because her formula is amazing. And honestly, you can do a warm look with like the pinks in here, but then you have a lot of neutrals too. So if pinks aren't your thing, then just ignore them and use the other shades. So definitely keeping. Next up, oh my God, this palette caused, I feel like, an uproar at the time. A lot of people did not like it. It's the Subculture palette. I think I bought this at TJ Maxx and I was just very intrigued by it. I think I've only used it once, and I think I used maybe this shade, and I think I've used these 2 shades. Honestly, I think I'm gonna keep it. I think the color story is really interesting, and I don't have any other palettes really like this. And I also don't feel like I've used it enough to make my own judgment call on if the palette was actually bad or not. So I'm gonna keep using, and if I don't like it, then I'll get rid of it down the road. My last palette, you guys, this palette is so old. I won this palette in a YouTube giveaway. It's the Lavish palette, and I won it from Queen Carlene. Girl, if you're listening, I am still with you. I love watching your videos. If you don't watch her, you should. And obviously this is the old packaging. It's still such a pretty palette, and I know it's old. It's probably 10 years old at this point, but I just don't have the heart to get rid of it. It's very nostalgic to me, so I'm going to keep this one as well. Next up, I have a Makeup Revolution. This is Fierce as Fire palette. I think this was actually a free gift with purchase, if I remember correctly. I've used it a couple of times, and each time the look has been gorgeous. So I think I'm going to keep it just for that. I really have enjoyed using it, and I just don't think I'm ready to part with it yet. Keeping along with the Makeup Revolution, these are the only other Makeup Revolution palettes I have. And I bought them because of Emily Noel. These are the Emily Edit palettes that she collaborated with them on. So this small one is the Needs palette. And it's a great palette for travel because you have your 3 face colors and then you have a little eye section as well. And she designed it to be pretty neutral, which I'm going to be honest, when I travel, I do pick neutral palettes. So I'm going to keep it for that reason. I also haven't played around with it a ton, so I'm going to keep. Okay, the bigger one is the Emily Edit the Once palette. So this one I really love. The colors are just so fun, and I've used it a handful of times. Again, I kind of forgot I had it. It just gets lost in my collection. I have so many palettes, you guys, but I really have enjoyed this, and I like that the colors are just fun and playful. And I feel like when I open this palette, I never really know what look I'm going to come up with, so I'm going to keep. Next up, I have a Butter London palette. I actually don't know the name of this palette. I know it came in a boxy charm. I don't think I've even swatched it yet. You can see the brown color. It did come broken. So if I keep that, I will need to repress it and make sure it's not a complete and total disaster. I think I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. I've never tried any Butter London makeup products. I'm very familiar with their nail polishes, but I'd love to try this, so we're going to stick it in the maybe. Next up, I have an Ace Beauty. This is the Grandiose palette. Again, I think this is from a boxy charm. Really pretty colors. However, I don't think I've even touched this. So this is a great opportunity to donate. So that's what I'm going to do. Colors are beautiful, but again, I haven't even touched it. And who knows how long it's been in my collection, just sitting, gathering dust. This palette, you guys, is so nostalgic. I remember, I think I was in high school when I got this. This is the Stila Stylish and Soul Collectible City palette number 2. It's just like a, cardboard packaging. But I was so excited to get this. I had never at the time owned anything from Stila. And you can see it has like a cream lip color, and then these are all eyeshadows. This cream lip color at this point in time is disgusting, because if you put a cream product with powder, they're gonna mix and it's gonna be disgusting. You just can't use it. So this, like I said, it's very, very old. Oh my gosh, like high school, you guys, like, ew. So I'm just gonna throw this in the trash. Next, I have a couple of Too Faced palettes. I have the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. This palette is one, it continues to surprise me. Each time I pull it out and use it, I always look at it and I think, oh, like, I'm not that excited to use it, like the shades aren't that special. But each time I use it, I love the look that turns out. So you know what, I'm gonna keep it just for that reason. I also have the Too Faced, this is the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. This, I believe, was the second version of the original chocolate bar. I did love this palette, but it is old and it's just been sitting in a bin under my bathroom sink, so I think it's time just to get rid of this. I don't even think I'm gonna pass it on. I'm just gonna get rid of it. The last Too Faced palette I have, this is the Stardust the Stardust by Vegas Nay palette. I remember when YouTube went balls to the wall over this when it came out. It's probably been 10 years, I would say. And obviously, I was super stoked to get it. But again, I think I used it a handful of times and it's so old. So I just think it's time to part with it. Okay, moving on. I have a Naked Cosmetics. This is just a little trio. Again, got this in Boxy Charm. I think I swatched it. The shades are beautiful, but I just don't need them. It's just sitting collecting dust. So I'm gonna pass it on to someone that will love on it. Okay guys, showing my age here. Who still has this in the original packaging? It is the Comfort Zone palette by Wet n Wild. It's a great little drugstore palette. However, they have updated their packaging now. I believe you can still get it, but the packaging is different. And I want to say there's 10 shades in it now instead of 8. Great little palette. I might repurchase it at some point, but I just think right now it's time to part with it because it is old. Next up, this is Real Her, the Volume 1 Shadow Palette. Again, this came in a subscription box. It's just a great little neutral eye palette. I think, again, used it maybe once or twice and it was fine, but look at these shades. Boring. Now, I am going to say that is personal preference. If you like very basic shades, then more power to you. You know, do what works for you. But I just don't need a million palettes that look like this. So I am going to pass. Next up, I have another subscription box palette. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. Douce or I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that. But it's just a very basic, another basic looking eyeshadow palette. I think you can see a trend with the palettes that we get in subscription boxes. I honestly don't even think I've used this. So again, I'm going to pass it on. I have one Juvia's Place palette. This is the Nubian 2. I think I've only used this once and I'm not ready to part with it yet. The colors are so pretty and I know a lot of people that really love this formula. So I would like to keep it and get a little more use out of it. Maybe put it in my everyday makeup drawer so I actually use it. But the colors are just so pretty and they're so saturated. I mean, can you see that? Let's do the blue. Whoo, baby. Like, stop. Like, ugh. So pretty, you guys. I am definitely gonna keep that. Time to talk about my Lorac palettes. This is the original Lorac Pro palette. I'm sure you can tell it has been very well loved. I've hit pan on 4 shades, almost 5. That has a pretty good dent in it too. But I love this palette so much, you guys. I wish they still made it so I could repurchase it. But I just love the concept of having the top row as mattes and the bottom row as shimmers. And again, perfect travel palette because you can make some really gorgeous looks. Like there's this gorgeous garnet shade in here that you can use and kind of smoke that out. It's so stunning. Like just these colors, and they're so creamy to work with. I am definitely keeping. My other Lorac Pro palettes, these are actually the Mega palettes. Usually they come out with them every Christmas, so this is the first one. Again, same concept. The top 2 rows are matte, the bottom are shimmer. I bought this because I'm a big fan of their formula. This was the first high-end formula I really fell in love with. Some people will disagree because they're gonna say the shadows are too powdery. I don't care. I love them as is. And you guys, I just kind of forgot I had this. Same with the number 2 down here. Also forgot I had it. But I don't think I can get rid of them yet. I just love the formula so much, and I love having such a variety of colors to play with. So I don't care. I'm gonna keep both. YOLO. Next up, I have my Tati Beauty, the Volume 1 Eyeshadow Palette. I really enjoy this palette because I love her concept where every single column is the same color family, but each row is a different finish. So the first row is all matte. This is more of like a satiny finish. And then you have like the metallics. And then this is a pressed glitter. And you guys, her pressed glitter, whoo, mama, yes, please. I want that. It is so freaking pretty. So as I'm sure you can tell by my reaction, I am keeping this. Her pressed glitter formula is the best one I've come across, so I am definitely keeping this in my collection. Okay, let's talk about Tarte. I have 4 Tarte palettes. So these two, I know they look the same. It's the same concept. It is the Clay Play palettes. So this is the original one. It has 3 face shades and then a bunch of matte eyeshadows. And this is the Clay Play must-have palette, same concept, but instead of 3 contour bronzer shades, they gave you a highlight, a blush, and a bronzer, and then the eyeshadows. This one is kind of satiny, but other than that, they're matte, and you can see they're also a little more purpley. So I am actually going to keep both of them. I like having these for travel palettes. And especially the second one because it has all of your face products. Great to have for travel. Who knows when we can actually travel again, but here's hoping. All right, I also have 2 of these smaller Tarte palettes. I remember when this one came out. It's the Rainforest After Dark palette. I feel like everyone just was going crazy about it because it's the first time Tarte had this format. But then you get it and you open it up and it's boring. You have a blush shade, a highlight, a contour, which these shades, only someone with light skin can actually wear them. So if you were even if you were tan, I don't think you could wear that, let alone being dark skinned. Like, I wish Tarte would fix that because I just feel like they cater to people that have very light skin tones. So this palette is not versatile in that way. And then again, look at these shades. Why? So boring. So when I got it at the time, I was excited, but I have not used this in years, so I'm going to pass this on. The second small palette from them, can we talk about this packaging? It's gorgeous. I almost wish I would keep it just for that. But it is the Sizzle Eyeshadow Palette. Again, you guys, look at these shades. Just, I'm going to be honest, I've given this palette a fair shot. Every time I use it, I'm always like, meh. And I don't want to feel meh about my makeup because I love makeup. And every time I've used it, I just have not enjoyed it. So as cute as the packaging is, I am still going to pass it on. All right, final Tarte palettes. I have the Tartelette Original and then the Tartelette in Bloom. The Tartelette Original I am going to pass on. You know, I just don't really like the formula that much. And again, they're all mattes. It is, you know, again, great travel palette. Not that we can travel right now. But I did not like the formula of this one, so I'm going to pass it on. This formula, however, of the Tartelette in Bloom palette is freaking awesome. So this one has mattes and shimmers. I have used the crap out of this one. It is honestly, I think, one of my all-time favorite palettes, and that is really saying something. Like, if this palette got lost, I would repurchase it. That is how much I love it. And I know, again, I've been harping this entire video about neutral colors. I understand, but this is my perfect neutral palette. I love, love, love it. I am keeping. Okay, next up I have the Nightingale eyeshadow palette from Pretty Vulgar. I think this came in a boxy charm. It's a good little cool toned palette, and I've used it a handful of times, but it's not really speaking to me, so I think I'm gonna pass it on. Okay, 2 Morphe palettes to talk about. I actually don't remember the names of these. All they have are 25A and 25B on the back side. I want to say they were like the bronze and the mocha palettes. The shadows are very nice, like beautiful, stunning quality, where you know, look at that. Look at that swatch, you guys. So the quality is there. It is definitely not the quality holding me back. I just, again, these are so many neutrals, and I don't think I need them. So I'm going to pass them on to someone that I know will love on them. Moving right along, breezing through this video, you guys. All right, who remembers these? This was my first huge palette that I got. It is the 88 Colors palette, Standard Shimmer Eyeshadow from BH Cosmetics. You guys, I think I was in high school when I got this, and I was so freaking stoked to get this because, again, these shadows are like the size of a dime. They are tiny, but I was so excited to have all of this color. And, you know, I almost want to keep it just for nostalgia purposes, but I don't need to. If I really wanted to repurchase something like this, I could. So I think it's time to part with this, and honestly, it's probably going to go in the trash because it is old. 2 Kat Von D palettes to talk about. This is the Metal and Matte palette. I know she does not make this palette anymore. I don't care. I love it. I am keeping it. I was so excited to get this for Christmas one year, and I just freaking love this palette. I don't use it a ton. I need to use it more, but her quality of shadows is just so great, you guys. And can we talk about this? Hello. So pretty. I just want to die. It's so pretty. So obviously from my reaction, keep. I also have the Shade and Light. This is her eye palette. This one's pretty new to my collection, if I can open it. And by new, I mean probably like a year old. I did not jump on the bandwagon right away like so many people did. I don't know why, I just didn't. I really love this though. I think it's a great palette. Again, just standard neutrals. I know, you guys, I know I'm a hypocrite. Don't judge me, but I love it. I'm keeping it. Okay, let's talk about some Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill, I have her original palette as well as her Vault collection that she also did with Morphe. So Jaclyn Hill, you either love her or you hate her. I love her. Don't at me, you're not going to change my mind. I firmly believe we can think what we want to think and agree to disagree. So I love her. I will support her, even though she's like a millionaire now. But I will still support her because this formula, you guys, is amazing. I want to get her second palette. I just dragging my feet. I don't know why. I just am. I will get it eventually. I will probably get it this year. But again, I love this palette. I love the color scheme that she put together. My only gripe is this is my biggest palette. So I am not ever going to travel with this because it takes up too much room. And you know, it just kind of stinks because I would love to travel with this, but I'm just never going to. It's too big. But even though I'm griping about it, still gonna keep it. I also have, like I said, her Vault collection that she did with Morphe. I did not buy them individually. They came as a little package set. So this one is Dark Magic. So pretty with the green color scheme. I remember I did a smoked out look for a bachelorette party in Las Vegas one year using this. And you guys, it was out of this world. So I can already tell you I'm going to keep all of these, but I will go ahead and show you. So like I said, that one was Dark Magic. This next one is Armed and Gorgeous. Love this one just for an everyday eye look. This color here, it's called Guilt Trip. I love this color on my eyes. I usually use this with a little bit of Smooth Criminal in the corner and then Agent in the crease. It is just mwah, chef's kiss. This one is Bling Boss. It is the purple one. Again, so pretty for a purple palette. And I don't think I've spoke on the quality of these shadows, but they are stunning. Like, let's just do a little swatchy swatch. Look at that. Like, stop it. So pretty. Last palette is Ring the Alarm in the Jaclyn Hill Vault collection. This one is more warm toned, berry toned. Again, just as gorgeous. Swatchy swatch, look at that red. So pretty. So keeping all of these. So this is probably one of the only drugstore palettes I have. It is the L'Oreal La Palette Nude. I was not that impressed with this. I remember when it came out, everyone was really excited because it's a drugstore palette. It was the first time we really saw palettes like this in the drugstore from some of the bigger brands. And I just was not impressed. I didn't feel like the shadows were really pigmented, and I felt like every single look I did just looked the same and it was kind of muddy. So I am going to get rid of this. My two Violet Voss palettes. So this is the new one. If you saw my BoxyCharm, it's the Olive View Forever palette. I love this. I've used it a couple of times now. Every look I've done, I have thoroughly enjoyed, so I'm keeping. The second palette I have from her is a collaboration with Nicole Concilio. I'm hoping I said that right. I think I got this on, oh, was it Haute Look? I think it was Haute Look a couple of years ago. And honestly, her formula is really, really great. So no nags about her formula. It's just, this palette doesn't really speak to me as far as a color story goes. So I've only used it maybe 5 or 6 times. And again, the colors perform beautifully, but it doesn't speak to me, so I'm gonna pass it on. Couple of more from BoxyCharm, you guys. This is the Blink Electric Eyes palette through BoxyCharm. I think I swatched these. I don't think I've actually used them. Again, very pretty shadows, but they're all shimmers. So again, I would have to pull in another palette. Not really my thing anymore, so I'm just going to pass on. Another one from BoxyCharm. This is the Glam Metals palette by Crown. Really pretty shadows. Again, I don't remember using this. I think I've swatched it, and it swatched beautifully. But you guys, if it's just been sitting, I just don't think I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna pass it on. Next up, I have a Julep palette. My mom actually got this for me. It's a cool toned eye palette, and I think I've used it once. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't gravitate towards it. Generally speaking, I would say if I'm using neutrals, I like warm neutrals more than cools. Nothing against cool tones. I love a good cool tone shadow. But I would say my go-to are warm shadows. And I just don't find myself reaching for it. So I think I'm going to pass it on. Next up, I have one little palette. This is Pixie by Petra. It is the Hazelnut Haze Eye Effects palette. I got this from a Queen Carlene giveaway. So funny because my first giveaway I ever won was from her like 10 years ago. And in the fall, I won another one, which, you guys, this is like a big deal. I never win stuff. So I was super stoked. This was in her little giveaway box. And I tried it once or twice, but honestly, it just, my feelings again were meh. So I'm being kind of stingy. I don't really want to keep it and give it another chance. I think if the color scheme was different, I might, but it just, I don't like it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. My only MAC shadows I have, this is a 9-pan. It is the Burgundy x9. I don't know if you can still get this, but I'm sure you can still get the shadows themselves. I am keeping this because this shade right here, it is called Star Violet. Every time I put this on my eyes, I get compliments. I know it's kind of washed out on camera, but it is so stunning in person, so I'm definitely keeping. Last up are my naked palettes. So you will see I have two nakeds. This one is my original one that my mom gave me. I was that brat in high school that wanted it, so she gave it to me because she's an amazing mom, and like I said, I'm a brat. So her and I together used up half bake pretty much, and it's gone. And when I heard that they were getting rid of it, I repurchased it. Because again, if I'm traveling and I want a neutral palette, this along with the Tartelette in Bloom is what I gravitate towards. Stunning eyeshadows, stunning quality. I know they're basic, but girl, I don't care. So I will keep this one, and then I'm going to throw away the original one because it's old. I also have the Naked 2 and Naked 3. I am keeping the Naked 2 because this is a great cool toned palette, and I don't have a ton of cool tones, so like I said, I'm gonna keep it. So the last Naked palette I have is the Naked 3. I've been using this pretty consistently the past couple of months in my everyday makeup drawer. And I feel like a lot of people have mixed feelings about this. And I know a ton of other brands are doing the same color scheme right now. But I love it. Like, I've been forcing myself to use it just to try to get some more use out of it. I love putting Nooner in my crease, blending it out, and then using Trick all over my lid. It is so, so pretty. Sometimes I'll put Factory on the outer corner if I want it a little more smoked out. And you guys, it's just such a pretty rosy palette. So I'm gonna be basic and keep all three of my Naked palettes. I don't care. The last shadow palette that I am decluttering, I don't even know where I got this. It is the Urban Decay Urban Addictions palette, and it's just like a 4 little pan. Like, you guys, I don't know where this came from. I forgot I even had this when I was getting ready to film this video. I was like, what is this? Like, literally no idea where this came from. So because I forgot I even had it, I'm just gonna get rid of it. Okay, so I know you guys can't see everything, but these are all the palettes I am keeping. So in total, that is, hold please, let me count. So quickly counting, it is 32 palettes that I am keeping. How many I'm getting rid of are, hold please, one more time. Okay, I'm back. So I'm getting rid of 32 palettes. So you guys, I got rid of half of my palette collection. I am so proud of myself because I'm gonna be honest, when I watch declutters, I love watching people that are cutthroat. I think like that is the point of a declutter. You're just trying to narrow down your collection and actually use what you think you're going to, and not keeping it because of, you know, the packaging or I don't know, something petty like that. Which again, I will be petty and keep things for the packaging, don't get me wrong, but I tried my best to only keep things that I really loved and wanted to use. So I'm super proud of myself. One other thing I forgot to mention, I had 3 in the maybe pile, the Kylie Jenner, the Butter London, and the Winky Luxe. I'm going to keep them in my maybe pile and probably put them in my everyday makeup drawer and just see how I feel. If after a month or two I'm still kind of meh on them, then I will pass them on. So I guess for now you can say I'll keep them. So when you think of it that way, again, it's about half of my collection that I got rid of, which still, good job, Katie. Pat on the back. That's awesome. So that is all I had for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this style of video, and I'm really hoping the next time I'll be on camera and I won't be a trash panda. I miss you guys, And again, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a cheesy thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. If you like my content, if you hit subscribe and hit the bell, you'll get notified of when I have new videos, which are twice a week. Again, love you guys so much. I will see you in my next one. Bye.